Okay, just received my LED headlights that I ordered off of eBay and got them unboxed. Wasn't much to the packaging. Figure they made the trip all right in them. Obviously, this is the one that I have not opened yet. Came in a certain little box wrapped up in some bubble wrap. Anyway, for $40 or for $20 each, what can you expect? Overall, I think the build quality is alright. Aluminum, they got two LEDs on both sides. Fan in the back. Supposedly waterproof for the whole thing. There is a little plug right here on this ballast thing that can come unplugged to aid in installation. I did notice there's a little DOT stamp on there. Not real sure if that makes them DOT approved or not, but I know as of right now a lot of these are not DOT approved, but we'll see. So I'm going to start here pretty soon and get them on the bike. Alright guys, here we are about to start the install of the LED headlights. I've got the bike set up on the center stand here. I'm approximately 8 feet from that front wall. We've got a tape drawn, or line drawn on that tape up there. As you can see, low beams cut off is right there about where that black line is. Here we are. I've got one headlight that is not working. This is why I'm replacing the lights. And the right halogen is on, the left one is off. That one's blown in there. So I don't have an excellent comparison, but that's where the cutoff on the halogen is for the low beam and how bright it is. And that's bright, obviously. Once I get the LED in there, I'll do a comparison and we'll see the difference. Alright, I've got the blown halogen out of the bike. Here it is sitting here on the seat compared to the new LED unit. That's the dust cover that had to come out. I hope I don't have to modify it, but I may have to. Anyway, on the bike, it's the left light. Had to take this panel out here and this upper panel out here. Some say you don't have to do that if you've got small hands and can reach down in there and kind of know what you're doing to get to it. I have never done this, so I took those panels out. They're not too hard to do. There's a little clip there. But anyway, this isn't a installation video. I'm just doing a little comparison. So just kind of wanted to give you a brief overlook of what you're kind of getting into to get into those lights in there. Anyway, fixing to get the LED in there and see how it works. Alright guys, here is what y'all have been waiting for. I've got the bulb installed to kind of show you what it looks like in the bike. There it is, right there. I just got the wires dangling at the moment. I haven't got them secured up. I haven't got the panels put on there. Getting that little retaining clip that's on there was a little bit tricky. I had to kind of finagle it in there to make it work, to try not to bend it. I really don't see how you could have done that with these two panels on, but some people may be able to do that. Anyway, here's what it looks like inside the housing. Looks pretty normal. Here's the halogen on the right side. Here's the LED on the left side. All right, let's get it fired up. All right, as you can see, the cutoff on those two lights are pretty much the same. I've got the right halogen in and the LED in on the left side. From the front, there is clearly a color difference. I like that white color a lot better. Get down into the beam here. LED is definitely brighter. But I don't think with that cutoff there should be any problems with shining in people's eyes. As you can see on that wall, they cut off just about the same. I go to bright here. The LED overpowers the halogen by a good bit, as you can see. I think the LED overpowers the halogen in the low beams as well. Overall, so far I like them. I'm not doing anything in the ride in the nighttime yet. So let me get the other one installed. All right, this is supposed to be some type of a review comparing the LEDs to the halogens. But for those of you that want to do this, this is kind of a little some tips and some showing on some of the installation. This is what it looks like with that boot dust cover, rubber boot dust cover on. I did have to modify it, obviously. For those of you doing this, you will have to modify that rubber dust cover. When I install the other one, I will demonstrate how I did that and show you where I cut it and how I cut it. But I tried to remove as little rubber as possible to get it on there, to keep the integrity of the dust cover intact as much as I can, to keep as much dirt and debris out of that. Anyway, it was kind of a pain to get that thing on there and seat it around that heat sink and that little cover around that fan. I kept popping that little clip off, that retaining clip behind it, as I tried to slide it further down on there. So I'd have to take it back off and reattach the retaining clip. Anyway, it's doable, and just take your time. Alright, here's an installation tip for you guys. This is the dust cover that goes around the light. I had to modify the other one. I'm going to have to modify this one. It has not been modified at the time. It just pops on and pops off. I don't know if you can see that little rib right about there. That's where I wound up cutting it and cutting it all the way around and opening it up a little bit. Just inside these little squares right here, all the way around, is where I cut it to open it up. And it kind of follows that little line. That the material gets a little bit thinner up here, and right where it goes from the thick material to the thinner material is where I cut it, trying to take as little material off as possible to keep the integrity of the dust cover as best I can. I'm going to cut it and then show you what it looks like after it's done. Okay, here's my dust cover after I cut that insert out. I don't know, maybe you can find a different way of doing it, but this is how I decided to do it. I just cut this much out of it around that around these little squares here that I told you about. That's the bottom of it. Just sliced it and just used a pair of scissors. On this one, I let the scissors get away from me a little bit, and I cut up into the rubber a lot further than I really had anticipated or wanted to. Right there. Hopefully it won't cause me any problems later. But that should be big enough to stretch it over that fan of the LED light. This is just garbage here. Takes a little work to do it, but it can be done. Good luck.